Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Relationship Thursday. We're gonna be getting started in just one second. Again, welcome to Relationship Thursday. We're getting started in just 1 second. What's up, IG? And welcome, everybody. YouTube, what's up, good peoples? And welcome to today's Relationship Cheat Code. My name is Ayize, and I'm here to connect in with you. Have a conversation about a subject that we gotta talk about, y'all. We definitely gotta talk about. There's a number of folks that are grappling with this in their relationship. And so if you are a man, make sure you stay tuned in. If you are a woman, and you're in a relationship with or married to a man, make sure you stay locked in. And this topic right here, again, will help you to better understand him, but also help you to better understand how to navigate, maneuver, and engage with him, so that y'all can have a more fruitful and rewarding relationship. Again, my name is Ayize, for the folks that are on IG. Welcome on YouTube, welcome. And to the Blamily, let me go ahead and give you the horn. To the Blamily, welcome y'all for today's Relationship Thursday. And so for those who don't know, like I said, my name is Ayize Ma'at. I'm co-founder of Black Love and Marriage. My wife and I, we do this work on a regular basis, on a daily basis, pouring into individuals and couples, helping them to elevate, edify, connect, and really build the relationship. That's what we're about, y'all. We're about building a relationship. And so one of the barriers that prevents folks from really building a solid relationship is the fact that people are holding on to hurts. People are really holding on to hurts, y'all. Some heavy stuff that people are trying to navigate, negotiate, and are really having a hard time with it. And so tonight, I'm gonna be diving into that. And I'm not just talking about people, but I'm speaking about men specifically. Do me a favor, if you're a man that's watching this, drop a 1 in the chat. I wanna see who I'm talking to. If you're a man that's watching this, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat. I see the Blamily representing. YouTube, if you're watching this and you're a brother, like if you're a man, drop a 1 in the chat. IG, if you're a man watching this, drop a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure I know who I'm talking to. So, and for the ladies who are watching this, again, stay leaned in because you're going to get some valuable information to help you to better understand him, and then also understand how you can navigate and, be in relationship with him better. So I'm seeing the 1s come through on IG as well. So, all right, what up, good people? So, when we talk about the hurts that men hold on to, there's a myriad of things that I can lift up. And so when I'm lifting this up, there's a couple of things that's gonna happen, y'all. So the initial experience that you may have is one where you feel liberated. So if you're a dude that's watching this and you have a hard time giving volume to your voice, expressing your thoughts and expressing your feelings, you may feel liberated based off of what I'm about to share. If you're a woman that's watching this, you may feel some level of relief, but real talk, you also may feel frustrated. So I just want to be clear about that as well too. You may feel frustrated. And I'm lifting these two dynamics up because I just want, again, to have a real and honest conversation and just make space for what you may be going through and what you may be experiencing when you hear some of these things. And it's all love, it's all good, but you can't heal what you won't reveal. And so tonight, what I'm gonna do for a few moments with y'all is really reveal some of the things that are hurting men, that they're holding on to, that they're not really sharing with you. And how do I know this? Because I'm working with men on a regular basis, y'all. On a regular basis. And before I even get into the content, let me just say this. Fellas, if you're watching this, I have a 30-day King Me Intensive coming up really, really, really soon. I want you to, if you're on IG, type in the keyword level up. I'm gonna shoot you a message, and I want you to get on the wait list, y'all. Get on the wait list, because if you're a dude and you're trying to go to the next level, become a better man, husband, or father, then you need to be in this space. You need to be in this space. No excuses. You need to be in this space. Blamely, if you're a dude that's watching this, some of y'all already been through the King Man tip. I'm saying come back and go through it again. If you have not been through it, you need to level up and go through the process. If you're on YouTube, I'm saying the exact same thing to you. Go to kingmeatintensive.com if you're on YouTube or in the Blamely to get on the wait list. I'm gonna be dropping the well, we're gonna be opening up the door soon. So again, you want to make sure that you are in position so that you're notified because there's limited space. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and hop right into it. So some of the hurts that men hold on to. One of the hurts, and it's no secret, a lot of people grapple with this and maybe even have expressed this in their relationship with their partner. But one of the hurts that people, men specifically, are holding on to revolve around parental abandonment, being abandoned, left by your parents. And I just want to share with you the depth to which this wound can really go. And so when we think about this, the automatic thing is you may even have some images in your mind of your husband as a child wanting his mother, wanting his father, but sitting at the window waiting for him or her to come home, him or her to come pick them up, him or her to come back after a long vacation or after being away for some time and they never return. The way that this thing works, y'all, is it leaves a gaping hole. It leaves a gaping hole in their heart because the person that was supposed to be there for them, it's interpreted as they didn't want me. They didn't want me. They chose not to come for me. They chose not to come back and get me. They chose not to be with me. And so if he or she chose not to be with me, why would you choose to be with me? Or why are you choosing to be with me? And so they take on some of the responsibility and some of the fault and some of the reason why the mother, the father left. And so the abandonment that they're experiencing or that they experienced when they were a child, they then navigate life and maybe even navigate in their relationship or your marriage right now with that same childhood wound that really hasn't been appropriately tended to. And so the expectation becomes, it develops that if he or she abandoned me, you will too. And the reason why it's not spoken is because what it look like for them to express that I really think that you're going to leave me and that you don't want me. They might not even be in touch with it themselves, but it's there. And so until that's adequately dealt with, they're walking around with this wound, with this hurt. And as a result, they're engaging in behaviors in a relationship that may even be keeping you at a distance. So again, that abandonment piece is real. Real talk, sometimes people actually engage in self-sabotaging behaviors because they're anticipating that the abandonment is going to occur. So let me just expedite this process. Let me hurry it up. Let me do something to jack the relationship up. And so again, I'm going to abandon you before you abandon me. So one of the hurts that men are specifically dealing with are issues around parental abandonment. And it's different depending upon the gender as well. So most men are in relationship with a woman. But if my mom left me, I was in the 6th grade and when when parents come to pick up their children from school, it was typically not the father, it was the mother that was coming. And even today, it's typically the mother that's coming to pick up the child. But because my mom left me, I'm watching other moms come and my mom ain't coming. That might be your situation. That might be the man that you're in a relationship with, him having to navigate that as a 12-year-old boy, as an 11-year-old boy, trying to justify and rationalize, like, why are these other moms coming, but my mom isn't coming for me? Nowadays, we got sons that can go to YouTube to watch a video to learn how to tie a necktie. But back in the day, we ain't had that luxury. My father taught me. Maybe your father taught you, but what about the homes where there were no fathers involved, actively involved. Where they learn that lesson from? Maybe from the mom, maybe from an uncle, maybe from a grandfather. I'm not sure. But again, this leaves a gaping wound in the child, and your man may be in a space where he's still grappling with the reality of like, I got hurt from that stuff because I wanted him. And I see the comment, my uncle. I wanted him, but I ain't really want my uncle. I wanted him, but I ain't really want my grandfather. I wanted my father. I wanted my mother. But they weren't really there. And so again, when we're dealing with parental abandonment, these are challenges that we have to really take into consideration. And so that's one aspect that we have to deal with when it comes to hurt that men hold on to, that they may not be necessarily sharing with you. Another thing that we got to take into consideration is this. There's a hurt that some men deal with when it comes to not being chosen, not being picked, not being chosen, and not being picked. Some of the fellas may be able to resonate with this. A lot of times, especially in our youth, we're evaluated and judged based off of our athletic prowess, Black men specifically. And maybe all boys in general, but I know specifically Black boys are judged and evaluated based off of their athletic prowess. But what if that ain't your thing? What if that ain't your thing and you never got picked? What are the implications of that? The psycho-emotional consequences that come with that, not being picked. What happens then to your sense of self, your self-esteem? Or check this out. What if you got picked, but you were picked last? Has anybody had that experience where you were picked last? And so when you're in a position or you're experiencing these things where either you're not picked or you're picked last, then you feel like I'm not worthy of being chosen. I may be good in these other things, but when it comes to these areas in which I as a boy, I as a man am evaluated, I don't feel like I'm good. And so how does this impact me going on? In the long run? There may be some hesitancy, some apprehension when it comes to me applying for certain jobs. I'm still carrying the hurt that I experienced when I was a child. And so I'm less likely to fill out the application. I'm less likely to show up on time for the interview. I'm less likely to put myself in a position where I'm surrounding myself with other people who can assist me in the process of leveling up. Because I don't believe you want me anywhere. Because I was picked last, if I was even picked at all. And so dealing with that hurt and trying to reconcile that, and now you grow and become a man, it don't go away. You may mask it, but it doesn't go away. It's still there. And so it's important that, again, we make room for that to be expressed. But it's even more important, fellas, the ones who are watching, whether right now or watching on replay, that we actually deal with that. Because the reality is that whether you were picked first or picked last or not picked at all, you're still worthy. You're still worthy. And so it's important for us to really believe that. Another hurt that men carry and hold on to that they may not necessarily speak about or share with you revolves around this whole piece of colorism, y'all. Colorism. So you got, in one respect, being picked last or not being picked at all. And we're speaking about when it comes to sports. But what about just based off of the color of your skin? You're being criticized. You're being ridiculed. You're being judged. You're being ignored. You're being overlooked. There's a lot of brothers, dark-skinned brothers specifically, that have had to grapple with this reality, and then that right there has left the wound, has led to some hurt, has led to some identity, self-esteem issues that they've had a hard time with grappling with and reconciling. And it might not just be based off of your skin color, but it could be based off of your physical features. If your nose was more broad, if your lips were bigger, if they were smaller, if your teeth were if you had a gap in your teeth, if you had, I don't know, some teeth missing, whatever it may be. Walking around with those hurts and those insecurities, because children can be a mean mofo. Can be a mean mofo. And not only that, but if you're looking to be in relationship with a woman, specifically as a child, you're looking to be in relationship with a girl and you're being rejected, overlooked, not thought of, that's rough. And it impacts your sense of self. And so again, we got to make room and take into consideration that men are walking around with hurts daily. Oh, hi, baby. I miss you too. My baby girl said, hi, I miss you. Yeah, men are walking around daily with hurts and that they're holding on to that they may not necessarily share with you. Another hurt that men hold on to is the hurt when it comes to security. When it comes to security. And when I speak about security, what I'm specifically talking about is as a child. Again, a lot of this stuff will go back to childhood experiences. And so we'll work our way up because there's some things that men have experienced in their adulthood that have also left some scars and some wounds and some hurts that they're having a hard time healing from. But as a child, if you dealt with food insecurity and you weren't sure where your next meal was coming from, you may have been put in a position where you were the one who actually had to go out and hustle to try to find where your next meal is coming from. And so I'm always on the grind. I'm always on the go. I'm always trying to make it happen. I'm always hustling because of the hurt that I felt because there was so much uncertainty based off of what I experienced when I was growing up around my basic needs being taken care of. And so as you get older, how does it manifest and how does it look? It looks like sometimes maybe the man who is constantly working, constantly on the grind. And so you complain about that reality, which you should. Because as I said a moment ago, he's got to do his work. He can't run away from the hurt. He's got to address the hurt. But even with that being said, a lot of times we're super critical and we're hypersensitive to the degree to where we're focused on what it feels like to us, but we're disregarding and minimizing what the experience feels like to him. Sometimes he's hustling and he don't even know why he's hustling the way he's hustling. There's this feeling that's buried deep inside of him, sometimes on a subconscious level, like, I got to get it. I got to get to the bag. And not really connecting the dots that is stemming from a space where he went for so long without. And so we judge, we blame, we criticize, we say, spend more time with me. And again, he should. But I'm just lifting this up because when it comes to this area right here, what about dealing with the wound that's inside? What about the hurt that he hasn't healed from? And the fact that there may be still some sense of insecurity that he's grappling with, and so he's trying to run away from that. He's got to deal with that. He's got to deal with that. But what you ladies can do is create a safe space for him to do that. Create a safe space for him to do that. Another hurt that men grapple with is the hurt that comes from not having it all together and feeling like you got to fake and pretend and be something because of the expectations that are imposed upon you. There's a hurt that goes along with that because if I feel like I don't measure up based off of your expectations, then sometimes I may feel like that I'm less of a man. I don't measure up. I'm inadequate. I'm unsure. I'm uncertain. And so when you feel that way, and here's the thing, so like not a lot of men will say that. Not a lot of men will express that they feel inadequate. Not a lot of men will express that they feel uncertain or unsure, because we feel as though we can't afford to be that vulnerable. But I'm expressing this and I'm sharing these things with you because this is what's happening internally for a lot of brothers. And it's important for you to know so that you can make room and again create that safe space for him to be able to open up and to share. But dealing with that type of inadequacy where you feel like, I can't measure up, the bar is too high. Where you hear dudes say that? The expectations are too high, too much. I'm not saying that to you. Instead, what I'm gonna do is get mad and blame you for something. And it's not that I don't have my own personal goals and my ambitions and things that I'm striving for. But what I've experienced far too often is a situation in which I've attempted and I failed. And I've been judged for failing. And sometimes I've been judged for even, or quote unquote, not trying as much as I could. And so I fall back and I settle in a place of complacency, mediocrity, and just getting by. There's hurt that goes along with not hitting those expectations. There's hurt that goes along with failing. There's hurt that goes along with unrealized goals. There's hurt that goes along with trying and trying and trying and feeling like you're always trying and never getting to what you're trying to get to. Do we create a safe space for that hurt to be explored? It really depends on what rooms you're in. It depends on what rooms you're in. And so hopefully one of those rooms is within your house. Hopefully and prayerfully. Somebody dropped a comment on IG asking, what does creating a safe space look like? Creating a safe space looks like you showing support. You being a cheerleader for your man. You encouraging him. You applauding him and recognizing when he does well. We lift up the 5-to-1 ratio inside of our trainings, which is 5 positives for every 1 negative. The 1 will sometimes feel like it outweighs the 5. But again, make sure you make it a 5-to-1 ratio. That's an easy thing to do. It's happening all around you. Your brain is processing 1 million bits of information per second. But the interesting thing about that is that we're only aware of about 40. 1 million bits of information per second, but we're only aware of about 40. In order for us to expand our awareness, we got to slow down. Slow down and pay attention to what's happening. And so, ladies, what I encourage you to do is to slow down and shift what you're focusing on. So again, support is one thing. Acceptance is another in terms of creating a safe space. You want to make sure that there's acceptance. My wife and I, we recently did a podcast where that was one of the pieces that I lifted up. I said, you show your consideration for me by not judging me. And it doesn't mean that she can't be critical. It doesn't mean she can't give me feedback. It doesn't mean that she can't have an opinion. But what it does mean is that she creates an atmosphere, an environment. She packages her critique, her feedback in a way in which I feel like I'm being considered and not where I feel like I'm being judged. This is what's critical, y'all. When we miss this, or when we implement this rather, then it opens up so many doors. That's why I have the relationship that I have with my wife. It's because she does that. It's because she does that. And why a lot of people don't have the relationship that they desire to is because they don't do that. Dudes all the time are talking about feeling judged. Dudes all the time are talking about feeling like I've got this laundry list and there's always something that I'm not doing right. Dudes are talking about these things, lifting them up. And so when you're constantly hearing, again, that gets back into the expectations piece. And so if the bar is constantly moving, if you're constantly measuring me, if you're constantly lane watching, then I feel like I gotta walk that line, walk the tightrope. And there's hurt that goes along with that because there's a lack of acceptance that's present. I can't color outside the lines. I can't deviate. I can't be me. Why you want to be in a relationship with a man that can't be him? It doesn't mean that he needs to stay stuck. It doesn't mean that he shouldn't be evolving. But fundamentally, what he's looking for is acceptance. He's looking for acceptance. And acceptance doesn't mean that you can't criticize or even, just give me feedback. Have an opinion. Hold me accountable. It does not mean that. Acceptance means that you accept me. That you see me and you believe in the best intention from me. Even if sometimes it don't line up the way it needs to. Another way that men experience hurt or hold on to hurt that they may not necessarily be sharing with you is when it comes to, and this is an interesting one, when it comes to inadequacies as it pertains to their parenting. And so everybody on here that's watching has had a parental figure in their life. And in some form or fashion, being a parent has been modeled to you, for you. You've witnessed it, you've experienced it. And as a result, based off of those experiences, you may or may not have had an opportunity to be one. But if you have had an opportunity to be a parent, and you've had a rough time really settling in and being the best parent that you could be, being the best father that you could be, then it's hard for a man to express coming up short in that area. It's hard for a man to express that I'm not measuring up, I'm not doing it right, I'm hurting my children. It's hard for a man to express I don't have the relationship that I want with my children. So there's a deep hurt that goes along with that based off of the fact that he wants more. Sometimes he may even be replicating and imitating what it was that he experienced as a child. And he swore that he wouldn't do it. But then he finds himself in a position where he's doing it too. The exact same thing that his father did to him, he's doing to his children. And he's hurting. He's hurting because he remembers the hurt that he felt. He's hurting because he made a promise to himself that he would be better and do better. He's hurting because he don't know how to do better, even though he wants to. This is a hurt that men hold on to. And it may be with his son, it may be with his daughter. He don't want to stay stuck. 9 times out of 10, he don't not want to be in relationship with his child. I think sometimes women forget how heavy that phone is. And I'm not speaking literally, but figuratively speaking, the phone can feel heavy when you got to make that phone call and attempt to connect, especially when you know the person that you're trying to connect with don't want to connect in with you. Yes, this type of pain could be paralyzing. Y'all understand that? And so there's men who are on here right now that may have experienced something similar to that, but You may be 10 toes down for your child, but because of what was experienced in their formative years, you didn't show up the way in which you knew you could have shown up. And now you're attempting to repair, and they don't want you. They don't want you. And you're on point now, but they still don't want you. And you on point next year, and they still don't want you. You getting rejection after rejection after rejection. That shit hurts. It hurts. And yes, you created a reality in which this was even a possibility for you to be sitting in this seat where it's hurting as bad as it does. It does not negate the fact that even though you created it, that shit still hurts. It still hurts. Fellas, if you're in this space, you got to get support. You got to put yourself in a position to be around brothers who understand and are willing to connect, can vibe, and can help to support, elevate you, and encourage you. Encourage you. And if you're in a relationship, ladies, please, please, please pour into your man and just understand the depths of the pain, the agony that he experiences by not being in a relationship with his children after he's verbalized that this is what I want. And in some instances, he's been prevented. And in other instances, the child don't want him. You got to create that safe space. But that's a hurt that men deal with. It's really crucial. If you're joining me, I'm talking about hurts that men hold on to that they may not necessarily tell you. And we've covered a number so far. But before I continue, I do want to say this. The King Me Intensive is going to be kicking off soon. If you've not done it, it's a 30-day intensive. You want to be in a room. If you're on IG, type in keyword level up or go to kingmeintensive.com to join the wait list. If you're on YouTube or in the Blamely, go to kingmeintensive.com to join the wait list. It's going to be popping off soon. And the doors, I believe, will be opening tomorrow. They'll be opening tomorrow. Actually, I'm not going to say I believe. They'll be opening tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern for you to join the King Me Intensive. I just made that decision in this moment. And so it's about to be on and popping. And we're going to be talking about stuff like this, a group of men providing support, providing accountability, and going to the next level. Again, make sure you sign up, y'all. I see folks over here on in the Blamely saying, come through, King Me. Yes. Yes. All right, on IG, like I said, type in level up in the comments or go to kingmeintensive.com to join the wait list. So you'll be notified when the doors open tomorrow. All right, another hurt that men deal with that they may not necessarily share with you is a hurt. I spoke about the physical piece before, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper when it comes to the physical piece and speak about the sexual piece when it comes around their sexual performance. Men have almost always been evaluated based off of their sexual prowess. We as men judge other men. We judge ourselves. Women judge men based off of how you can perform in the bedroom. What if that ain't your thing, though? I mean, what if as you mature, your attention shifts? What if as you mature, your testosterone levels drop? What if as you mature, you start to focus on different aspects of intimacy and value those? And so men experience hurt as it pertains to there being shifts in their body, shifts in their hormones, shifts in their interests, specifically as it pertains to sex, because they've been evaluated based off of what they can do in the bedroom forever. Forever? Yes, forever. And so are you creating a safe space for him to explore that, or are you attacking him for what he can't do for you between your legs? And so I know automatically the retort may be, is it that he can't do it, or is that he's choosing not to get the help that he needs to be able to do it? Whatever it may be, is there safety for y'all to have them conversations? Is it a safe space for y'all to be able to explore different avenues? And I know y'all know what I'm talking about, because not only do we change, but y'all change too. There's a grief that goes along with that. A grief, a serious grief that goes along with that. And so create a sense of safety for him to explore that, and for him to really do the work that needs to be done to equip himself with the tools to be able to show up in a different way for you, and also for himself. But there's hurt that goes along with loss. Loss of your physical ability, specifically as it pertains to that. And now we can even expand that to just loss in general. Has anybody on here been fired before? Type a 2 in the chat if you've been fired. Ain't nobody been fired, huh? If you've been fired, there's a hurt that goes along with that. Have you had a hard time having a job? Yeah, I see the 2s coming through. How does that impact your esteem as a man? Again, you're not chosen. I mean, you're let go. And then you may have been put in a position, DeAndre said 2, 2, 2, then 2 again. It's real out here, yo. And so I know the automatic reaction might be, man, fuck them. It's their loss, not mine. But that's a defense mechanism. Because there's hurt that goes along with that. And even though you may have done something to put yourself in a position to be fired, which more often than not you did, it's still messed up, and you got to take a hit to your sense of self. You were told deuces. You were told goodbye. You out of here. And you got the hurt again, along with being rejected and told that you out. But then the other piece that you got to deal with is a hurt that may come along with you not being able to provide for yourself. That's painful, y'all. It's definitely painful. So you got the loss in that respect. But what about a loss of a loved one? What about the loss of a loved one? A parent, a sibling, a friend. Sometimes we can have losses that lead us to question God. Sometimes we can have losses that lead us to question the purpose of life. A spouse. When you experience those types of losses, you close your heart. You close your heart. And it's hard for it to open back up. It's really hard for it to open back up. And so you're in a relationship with a man that don't talk about those things that much, that doesn't really share. When the anniversary rolls around, there may be some thoughts they kick up, they stir up. And so he's angry, or he's disconnected, or he's pulled away. He don't even know why. He don't even know why. But you're dealing with the repercussions and the fallout from it. But he's trying to figure out, like, why am I even feeling the way that I'm feeling? Sometimes he just doesn't know, y'all. Sometimes he just don't know. And so we got to work on creating that sense of safety, that safe space for him to really do his work. And then, fellas, to you all who are in or who have experienced something similar to what I'm lifting up, any of what I'm lifting up, you got to do your work. You got to do your work. So you're walking around with these hurts, and you're experiencing this heaviness, this pain, this agony. But what it looks like is anger. What it looks like is frustration. What it looks like is you picking up the bottle. What it looks like is you smoking weed or smoking whatever you smoking. What it looks like is you isolating yourself in the basement and playing, what is it, Xbox, PC, whatever these things are, playing these games. What it looks like is you not being home or coming home after work and hanging out with your friends. Because you're trying to get away from the hurt. You're trying to get away from the quietude, the discomfort that goes along with you sitting still and getting in touch with that stuff. Fellas, you running and you running and you running away from yourself. We got to stop running. We got to stop running and start leaning into getting the support that we need. It's gangster to get help, y'all. It is. It's gangster to get help because you'll get to where you're trying to go faster. Don't make it hard on yourself. Make it easy. Get the support you need. Get the help you need. And sometimes a part of the help that you need is right there in the house with you. But ladies, y'all got to do y'all part and create that safe space for him to be willing to open up and share. And when he does share, don't beat him down. Don't berate him. Don't laugh at him. Don't call him no simp. Don't call him weak. Because that may be your only chance that you get. It may be. So create that sense of safety, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, y'all. I just want to say this again, fellas. Join me in the upcoming King Me 30-day intensive. If you're on IG, type in level up or go to kingmeintensive.com to join the wait list. The doors will be opening tomorrow. It's limited space. The doors will be opening tomorrow. I want to see you in the room. Here in the Blamley or on YouTube. Same goes to y'all. I want to see you in the room. There's no excuses, y'all. I mean, there's ways and reasons. There's a number of reasons why you should. I mean, y'all see in the comments, if you're in the Blamley, the people, the wives whose husbands participated, testifying to the fact that it was bomb. And they weren't even in it, but their men were. And so I'm just saying, like, we're going to lean in. We're going to provide a sense of safety, support, accountability, and we're going to be strengthening each other, y'all. We are. For the sister who asked the question about how do I create that safe space, you want to give safety, support, acceptance, and strengthening. SAS. Do those things. But it's time to level up. So again, level up on IG. Type that in. If you're a dude and you want to join me, you should join me. Over here in the Blamley on YouTube, go to kingmeintensive.com. We're about to get this work, y'all. The doors will be opening tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's limited space. We had a bomb group the last time that went through it, and a lot of transformation took place. 86% of the people who participated grew, y'all. 86% of the people that participated grew. And how do I know? Because they had accountability charts to track the progress. So like I said, let's level up, y'all. Let's lean in. Hopefully you got some value. I appreciate that, Spence. He said this was really good. Think about your man. Create that safe space for your man. Support your man. And give him a shoulder to cry on. I think Ella made a comment about that. She said, we cry together in this marriage. I'm the Eddie Levert of the group. I love it. All right, good people. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Again, be on the lookout. We opening the doors tomorrow, and I'm going to connect them with y'all soon. Y'all take care. All right, peace.